It looks, and honestly, it looks pretty big. Hello and welcome to another episode of Anything But Authentic, where I make crazy unique food that is anything but authentic. On today's episode, I'll be making vegetarian spaghetti meatball burger. Yeah, it's a handful. Now you may be asking, like, vegetarian spaghetti meatball burger? It's like a word salad that I just put together. Yes, I'm saying it right. Vegetarian spaghetti meatball burger. Basically, I'm making a spaghetti meatball burger. But I've been liking the Impossible meats, so I decided to just use it for this recipe. I mean, like, I've always been impressed with Impossible Burger, and the product that I push out really tastes like real meat, but it is vegetarian, so might as well just, like, you know, try to reduce my carbon footprint. And since we already have the Asian ramen burger, why not make spaghetti burger? It's super delicious. I know you guys are gonna enjoy it. Let's get started. First, we're gonna start by making the meatball patty. In a large mixing bowl, add 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of whole milk, a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan, half a cup of breadcrumbs or panko, 2 garlic cloves that I'm just gonna grate with a microplane, around 1 tablespoon of chopped basil, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of sugar, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Using a fork, mix until everything is well combined, then add in around 1 pound of Impossible meat or meatloaf mix or ground beef, whatever you desire. Then, using your hand, gently mix all the mixture together. Try your best to not overwork the mixture, otherwise our meatball patty will become pretty tough. After the mixture is mixed well enough, then it's time to form it into patties. Divide the mixture into 4 parts, then slowly form the mixture into a patty form. Then it's time to cook these patties. In a large deep non-stick pan, you want to turn the heat on around medium to medium high and add around 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the oil is heated, add the patties and let it cook uninterrupted on each side for around 3 or 4 minutes. Basically, we want to develop a crust for these patties before we actually cook them all the way. After the patties develop a crust on each side, take it out and add 1 small chopped onion to the same pan. Then season the onions with a little bit of salt and pepper and let it cook for around 5 minutes or until the onions becomes translucent. Once you get to that point, you want to add around half a cup of red wine and let it cook for around a minute. Make sure to stir it a little bit so that it gets all of the burnt bits at the bottom. Afterward, you want to add in around a 28-ounce can of tomato puree. Mix it around a little bit, then add all 4 patties in. Make sure to cover the patty with the sauce. Then turn the heat on low and slightly cover the pan and let it simmer for around 1 hour and 45 minutes. Make sure to stir it occasionally so that the bottom is not burnt. After 1 hour and 45 minutes, season it with a little bit more salt and pepper and of course some chopped basil. I really like basil, so this is a bit more than you should, but the world is your oyster. If you like basil, add more basil, just like me. Once that's done, set it aside while we move on to making the spaghetti bun. In a mixing bowl, you want to add around 2 eggs and around 4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. Mix it around a little bit, then gradually add around 300 grams of cooked spaghetti. The reason why we're gradually adding it instead of adding it all at once is that we don't really want to cook the egg in that mixture right away. If you see my previous video with the s'mores brownies, it's the same philosophy. When you add something hot like freshly cooked spaghetti into sort of an egg mixture, you want to slowly introduce the hot stuff into the egg, otherwise it will just scramble the eggs and it's just not gonna taste good. After adding spaghetti, you want to mix it around a little bit so that the spaghetti can be coated with the egg and Parmesan mixture. Once the spaghetti is coated with the egg and parm mixture, now it's time to form them into a bun shape. So what I have here is around 8 deli containers that I'm gonna use to form the patties. So what you're gonna do is fill 4 of the deli containers with plastic wraps. Then add around 1/8 of the spaghetti that we made into each container. Basically, the spaghetti amount that I've measured for is enough to make around 8 buns, which will make around 4 burgers. After you fill each container with around 1/8 of the spaghetti that we made, add another piece of plastic wrap right on top of the spaghetti. Then, using another empty deli container, place the container straight on top of the plastic wrap and really push it down. Repeat for the rest of the spaghetti, and then you want to pop it into the fridge and let it harden for around half an hour. After half an hour, it's time to fry these spaghetti buns. What I have here is a large pan with around 3 or 4 tablespoons of any neutral oil that I'm gonna heat on high. Once the oil is heated, slowly take out the spaghetti buns and add it straight into the pan. If your bun did not stay in shape, don't worry, you have the pan as your friend. Using a spatula, move the pan around and use the edge of the pan to really make sure those rogue spaghetti really stay in shape. Let it cook for around 3 or 4 minutes just so it forms a crust. Then carefully flip the bun and cook the other side for another 3 or 4 minutes. Afterward, take it out and we're ready to assemble everything together. Now it's time to assemble everything together. First, you're gonna start with a layer of the spaghetti buns. Then add some lettuce along with some fresh onions. And then of course, you wanna add the vegetarian meatball patty along with a little bit of that sweet delicious sauce. And then top it up with another spaghetti bun. And there you have it. And it is done. I'm pretty excited for it. It looks, and honestly, it looks pretty big. I'm pretty nervous about eating it just because like it's so large.
That's what she said.
I'm just gonna go straight in. Look at that. Oh. God. Holy crap, that tasted a lot better than I expected. The meatball patty is super soft, super moist, and the tomato sauce that we rendered over an hour and 45 minutes, it's just really infused the flavor into the patty, so it's super flavorful. I'm still amazed at Impossible Meat to this day because it tastes just like the real thing, but it's not. And of course, the spaghetti bun just tastes just like a very parmesan-y spaghetti bun. I don't know what else to say it. Like it's delicious. As you can see, it held up pretty well, and it's just a really delicious burger in my personal opinion. Like this is, I can see this in a restaurant and I can see people going crazy for this. Anyways, thank you for grubbing with me, Guber. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to support my channel, and I hope to see you here next time on Anything But Authentic.